when you are advanced in age, the truth or the reality is you have fewer people approach you.
That's the truth.
You have fewer people, eat on you. You have fewer people interested in you, because the truth is people will keep going for younger people, people that look younger, act younger. So you have to face reality.
That's already limitation.
Yeah.
And I think it's the truth like a lot of people do not want to hear. Hi guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's good to be back.
Our channel.
Yeah, welcome back to our channel. And today you can see that the setting is a bit different.
Yeah.
We have something special. So
if you follow us on Instagram,
Yeah.
you'll be used to this setting.
Yeah, of course. So if you're not following us, make sure you do. So today we are doing something a bit different. We put out a link for people to ask us questions. And today,
In case you're not aware.
Yes, in case you're not aware,
It exists.
there's a link. It's in the description for you to ask us questions. And today we're answering one of those questions. Babe, help us read the question.
Okay, so the question says, my name is Becky from Ghana. I'm 34 years old and I'm single. Hi, Becky from Ghana. It's good to hear from you. My last relationship ended when I was around 29, almost 5 years now. And ever since, I have not been in any relationship. I do not get men even approaching me or asking me out.
Wow.
It makes me think sometimes that something is wrong with me or something is wrong somewhere. I am a Christian, a good one for that matter. And I am beautiful and smart, not bragging. So you're allowed to brag. It gets hard sometimes. Do you think there's something I'm not doing right? Or there's something I'm doing? Or is it simply my family members? I'm not sure I understand the last one, but the question. Okay. Village people. Okay. I said it's not too sure. But yeah, I think I understand the question. So yeah, that's the question.
So we get this question a lot. And this one I think is very relevant and many people find helpful, because we have many cases of ladies who are ready, ready for relationship, ready to get married, but they have nobody approaching them, and we have a culture that where ladies are to wait to be approached. So we're going to share some points, some very practical points I believe will help you greatly to better position yourself, to announce you, to make you more appealing to people. And all the points will actually be from this book, In Pursuit of the One. Interestingly, the chapter is called Shooting Your Shot. And literally, the reason why I wrote the chapter is for questions like this, Instead of you waiting to be approached and nobody's coming to meet you, what can you do differently? So, of course, the first point is take cues from previous fallouts and relationships to improve. Babe.
Yeah, I think this is such an important point. I'm a content creator, in case you don't know. And one of the major things in content creation is to get feedback from the brands you've worked with. It helps you better yourself. It helps you find loopholes or even find your strong points. And I think the same applies to relationships. Go back, reevaluate like your past relationships. Like, okay, why did they end?
Yeah.
What was the reason? Sometimes you find out that you can actually answer these questions by yourself. I mean, I did the same thing when my previous relationship, before I met my husband, ended. I asked myself, I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? And, I asked myself those questions. I didn't have to go back. But most times, in fact, 90 out of 100 times, you have to actually go back to your ex to ask, okay, what exactly went wrong? What do you think I can do better? Of course, I think it also depends on how the relationship,
of course,
it depends on a lot of things, but more often than not, you can always go back, ask what happened, what do you think can be done better, what mistakes do you think we made that we ought not to. Those questions will help you make an informed decision and help you better prepare yourself and handle your next relationship better.
Yeah. See, I think that point is so important, because most of the time, life is sort of in patterns. Literally there's something new. So for instance, you're watching us and you realize that after people start talking stage with you, they just ghost you. Or after people just say they're interested, after 2 months, after a month, they move on to your friend, or they move on to somebody else. It's just good to have that, immediately just want to know. Okay, like you said, it might be difficult to do, but just message that person that was in talking stage with you, but just said, I'm not interested anymore. Just say, just ask, tell them, I'm just asking this to learn. No hard feelings. And I want you to be honest with me. Of course, you have to brace yourself because you might not like what you hear.
What you hear.
But just ask them, is there something? Is there a reason why we didn't work? Is there a reason why you moved away from me? Like she was saying, if you're talking to your ex, for instance, okay, is there a reason why you broke up with me? Is there a reason why this relationship ended? And you realize that there's so many things you will learn from it. So imagine man says, oh, you're terrible with communication. I'm always calling you, texting you, you never reply communication. So that might just be pointed to, oh, people are trying to reach me, but, so it might say, oh, you smell, you have body odor, you might not like what you hear, but it might just let you know why people are avoiding you. And of course, this leads me to the next point. In case maybe you can't message your ex, maybe you guys have blocked each other or they're inaccessible, one thing you can do is you can ask your friends, I believe that the people that know you, the people that are closest to you, they should at least know one or two things that you can do better or do differently. This happened to me. A friend of mine messaged me and told me, he said, the friend literally asked me, said, is there something I'm doing wrong? Is there something I need to do better? Is there something I need to do differently? There's higher probability that the people close to you, they know. Maybe you're too picky. They will tell you, I think the problem is you're too picky. Maybe you don't care about your looks, you don't care about your dressing, you always just, they will know. So you want to actually tell your friends, guys, be honest with me. Is there a reason? Why am I single?
That's actually very important because I've had a case where, well, this one is not even a friend. I was texting her. So she chatted me up on Instagram and was just lamenting and complaining. And I checked her page and I told her, I said, you might need to lose some weight. Is the truth. I didn't mind getting blocked. It's not.
No, I get you.
It's not a crime. Yeah. Like, it's actually the truth.
Yeah.
And I didn't even mind getting blocked. I didn't even think she was going to reply, but I felt like it needed to be said, right? Because she was desperate and needed, the truth. And I just felt I needed to tell her that. I'm like, okay, you can do this. And I also think you might want to lose some weight. And she came back after a few months and told me, oh, things are getting better, blah, blah, blah. She was even happier with herself. So it might be little things like that you don't even know that's affecting your markets.
Many people might want to get offended by that point, but there's something we're going to say at the end of this video. So make sure you stay to the end, and I'll just cue it in, but we'll talk about it later. And the reality is there's a type of people want to date. Yeah. As much as interest, varies. Some people like small, some people like big, some people like tall, some people like short. But if you've ever noticed, imagine in any group, class, fellowship, church, realize that all the guys are always after the same girl. You have to ask yourself, why? What it is about this girl? So instead of you just saying, you know what, I want someone that loves me for who I am, which is important, the question is there something that you can do to better and improve yourself, which is what the first 2 points will help you identify. Is there something you can actually change? There's something within your control that you can change. And I think there's a part of the book that actually listed some things within your control that you can change. So, next point.
Next point says, don't be isolated. Having friends increases your chances. Do we even need to explain this? Well, some of us don't go out. I remember when I had a 9 to 5, my life was within the 4 walls of that 9 to 5. If I didn't shoot my shots, okay, maybe I would have met somebody in church. Yeah. But sometimes you don't even get to meet people in church. Yeah. The people in your service units or your church, they probably see you finish. It is the truth. For someone like me, going out with my friends and my friends introducing me to their friends was like would have been a major edge for me to actually get into a relationship, So yeah, I think it's actually important.
It's very important, because you have to realize that it's someone you want to date. You have to meet the person somewhere, and if you don't take yourself out of your comfort zone or your privacy, you won't meet people. So your partner is somewhere, your partner is in church, is in your office, is in a gym. Is a friend's friend, is a friend, is at the guest at a wedding, So put yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
You know, put yourself where people can meet you. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when my husband was writing this book, he randomly asked me, I didn't even know it was because he was actually writing at that point in time. He said, oh, babe, where do you think someone can meet? Like, where do you think two people can meet or like lovers can meet?
Yeah.
And I was really lucky. I'm like, you can meet in church, people meet in clubs, people meet at bars, people meet the office,
Parties,
work trip parties,
there,
anyway.
yeah.
And
Even
he
on the
answered,
road
he was like,
supermarket.
I'm like, okay, why are you asking? He now said, okay. I can't remember what your answer was, but he ended it by saying, oh, you can actually meet people anyway.
Yeah.
So,
There's actually a chapter on this. I think it's in chapter 7 of the book, and it spoke about where to find. I can't remember how they might put it, but.
so my point here is,
Yeah.
just put yourself out there.
Yeah, and
Go
you know,
out.
and the way I put in the books is, your partner is where you are or where you will be.
Bam.
You know, so
Full stop.
Exactly. You know, so it's either presently around you,
Yeah.
you know, where you go, maybe like you said, literally it can be any place. So go out, you know, sign up at a new gym, you know, volunteer, you know, maybe instead of every Saturday, you're always in your room, Netflixing, you know, and sleeping. Have something that takes you out every Saturday.
Go
you know,
out.
volunteer somewhere, help with something.
Yeah.
Go to your, you know, estate meeting.
There's
you know.
always a place to be.
Yeah,
I promise you.
So yeah. Next point.
Don't always shut the door before you see what's inside. Give people the opportunity.
This is important.
Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Basically, so in this book, the way PT puts it makes me laugh.
Yeah. Beauty as charged.
He
What
said,
she said.
he said, ladies' instincts get the best of them sometimes. I know that as a lady, you can smell a rat from a distance. You can see that a man is a cheese from the way he talks in his shirts. Sometimes it's just noise, even the car they are driving. When you are driving Sienna, you say you are single. How now? You know he's an abuser from the way he is so fast. But what if you are wrong? But how do you know an abuser from the way they eat? I'm sorry, but I found it very funny. But I'm a woman and I know the things that I look at people sometimes and I say some things and my husband is like, babe, how do you know? So it is actually very true. Do not judge a book by its cover. Get to know people sometimes before you judge them or conclude that this is who they are or this is what they really, you know.
Yeah. And to just, you know, drive this home a bit is, in the case where someone introduces you to somebody, you know, I say, oh, I have this friend of mine, I think you should talk to the person. And you're like, I beg, the person's not my type. Or it won't work out. We've had many cases where the first impression, you know, was not so good, but the person turned out to be a great person. You know, maybe you had your first date on their birthday, you know, so don't always just after the first impression cancel the person out, you know. I wanted something, but it might sound a bit offensive, but the truth is you're single, you want somebody, you know. So and I'm not saying this in the sense of lower your standard, but be more open-minded. You know, don't turn your back to the person that actually gives you a reason for you to do so. You know, if you see a clear red flag, by all means, but the person is not giving you red flag and you're already, you know, blocking them out already, you know, be open-minded, calm down, relax.
I mean, I can relate to this with you. Actually, when we first met, there were a lot of things there's some things that you see in people that you know that will change. I can't go into details, of course. I cannot wash my husband's dirty laundry in public.
Thank you.
There were things that normally, or I would say a lot of people would have cancelled him, like, oh, nah, this guy's a no, you know. But I'm like, I was able to see beyond those things, and I think that's what having a list of your negotiables and non-negotiables are for. Anyway, that's by the way. But yeah, just to see that I can relate to this, and sometimes you just have to look beyond, you know, the ordinary things that you're saying.
No, you know, especially even when you're already advancing in age, you want to not lower your standard, but be more open-minded. You know, or maybe lower your standard, but don't
not lower your standard, but there are some things that you can reduce the list of your non-negotiables, right?
Yes, like reevaluate your non-negotiables.
Bam.
You know, there's some things that no matter what, even if you're 60, you must, like, no matter, even if you're 60 and the person asking you out is married, you know, is not a Christian, it won't change. You know, but there's some things that, you know, maybe before they have to have a particular level of education, you know, they have to have a particular height, you know, they have to have a particular age, for instance, things like that.
Or a level of income, all those things.
2 more points. So
Yeah. Second to the last on the list is do not show your desperation by always announcing that you're single.
Yeah.
Hey, some people are billboard. Like the minute you meet them, before you even know their name, you know they are single.
No, they're people like that. Like, the first thing you know about them is their relationship status.
If I've not met someone like that, then I wouldn't have believed it, but I know someone like that. So there are people like that. So I think that's as simple can be, right?
Yeah. And I think one thing that makes this very tricky is if you're always, putting out there, I'm single, I'm single, I'm single. Number one is desperation makes you look cheap. People just think, why are you always putting yourself out there?
Yeah, and then what you think is putting you out there is actually a blocker.
Yes, because I'm like, okay, if everybody knows you're single and nobody's going for you, something's wrong. Yes, like I'm suspicious, so it's not good. And what this means, or for many people, is have that sense of self-worth, have that sense of self-value. I know I'm single, I know I'm old, but the thing is, I'm a spec.
Yeah.
I'm worth paying attention to.
Spectacular, yeah.
Because see, the best makeup you can wear is self-confidence and self-love.
Yeah.
So love yourself. Put yourself out there. Like let people know that. And have you seen people that because they think, let's say, bad example, but I'll use it regardless. Let's say you've had a very dirty past. Let's say men have used you. Maybe you've even removed pregnancy or something. You just think, I'm not high up there, or maybe you don't have education, maybe you have bad English and anything. You see it as a privilege for even everybody coming around you, so you're always just jumping, but it just makes you look cheap. People just use you and move on.
It's
but
very
just
easy to
have
take
that
advantage of you.
Self-love, have that self-respect.
Yeah. So moving to the last.
So the last point. So this is not really a point, but it's a point.
Yeah.
So, and this is just to say, if people are not approaching you, approach people.
Shoot your shots.
Shoot your shots.
Shoot your shots.
See, this is a long conversation. I'll probably have another video about it. Like I said, the whole chapter on the book is about it. Get it if you have not, But is the idea that you have to only wait to be approached. There's a wisdom in guys making the move, but there's nothing wrong in letting them know that you're available.
Yeah.
Like my wife did.
Yeah. There's a whole lot more to uncover when it comes to shooting your shot, like how to do it strategically, because the world is not particularly open to it yet. A lot of people are still traditional. A lot of people still have, their bias towards ladies that are bold enough to do it. They think it's them being forward, and they just might be controlling, all of those things. But it's be strategic about it. And I think just to scratch the surface, one way to do it is just okay, you follow this person on Instagram or Twitter or Thread or whatever, and they post something, comment on their post. They post something on their story. That's a straight way to their DM. Respond to it. And that was what I did with my husband. And that was how we got talking.
Yeah, I was telling my wife that when I was single, everyone that comments on my post, I check their profile. Like everyone that comments on my post, I check their profile. If you tag me, I check, because I'll just look up the person. So it's a way to actually poke the person, like, I'm here, so
yeah. So that's one way. You're not going to meet the person and say, oh, I like you, I'd like to marry you, but
very important,
but you're just putting yourself in a position where they can actually see you and notice you. So shooting your shot as a lady is actually more positioning than hitting the
So the most important thing that we haven't said, my wife said she was going to say at the beginning, so I'll just let her say it. So I'll say it so she'll know what I'm talking about, because now she's wondering what I'm talking about. And it is, when you are advanced in age, the truth or the reality is you have fewer people approach you.
That's the truth.
You have fewer people, eat on you. You have fewer people interested in you, because the truth is people will keep going for younger people, people that look younger, act younger. So you have to face reality.
That's already limitation.
Yeah.
And I think it's the truth, like a lot of people do not want to hear. But I think.
Yeah. So, but of course, don't see this now as a reason to be depressed or to be anxious, because the truth is we've seen God actually still hook up. We've seen God link up or matchmake his children. So you can trust God as a loving father to position you, to make you, like for me, I posted the right thing at the right time and she responded to it. She said she was actually contemplating, should I respond, should I not respond? So God can orchestrate your step. God can make you, is it Rachel or Rebecca who gave water to Abraham's child? I think Rachel.
Rachel.
Like Rachel, God can make you be at the well at the right
At
time.
the right time.
Just when a person is. So you can trust God. You can talk to God about it. Don't be anxious. Trust Him, and you can trust Him to write your love story. So please, if you have questions, the link to ask the questions, the form, it's in the comment section. Feel free. We'll post more questions at least once every week. We're promising. Yeah. Once every week. We'll have a Q&A
session like
so
this.
till we see you on the next one. What do you do? Comment,
share, like, subscribe. Do not forget.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being here. We love you so much.
So in case, just put it out there, in case let's say you're like, oh, how can I be a blessing to these guys that have been a blessing to us? We have links to give and donate in the description. So you can use anyone that's comfortable for you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.